All right, 10 things I hate about this car. Let's go. Number 1, it's a BMW. BMW as a brand as well as a community can be a little over the top. Obviously, everyone knows that BMW makes it a little more complicated than necessary to even touch these cars. Their parts are unnecessarily expensive, the labor is unnecessarily expensive, and the people, in particular, the drivers, the community, oh my god. And especially the purists. I have nothing against being super passionate about a particular kind of car. However, some people little too ready to talk down to you, and it's unnecessary, man. And honestly, I kind of just addressed numbers 1, 2, and 3. I really do not appreciate how expensive the labor and the parts are for these cars. Never go to a dealership. There are a lot of fantastic specialty shops that are local everywhere, as far as I'm aware. There are some fantastic European shops, and even that's expensive, but honestly, do not go to the dealership. So, number 4, automation. So I've actually got the iDrive system in my car. It's a little dated. It doesn't bother me that much. I actually kind of like having a bit of automation in this car. Oh, look at this. Navigation. It requires a DVD. And I have the DVD over here, but I'm not even going to try showing it to you because it's cracked. It wouldn't do me any good. And that would mean the maps are outdated anyway. It's always kind of intimidated me how as cars have gotten newer, they've integrated more and more technology. And I love technology, but it makes it kind of hard when you have to work around it when you're working on the car, or just if something electronic goes bad. It's highly inconvenient. It almost sort of trains you to be reliant on the technology more than your driving skills. And I think that's mostly what it is for me. Becoming too reliant on the technology of the car, especially when it's going to become dated anyway. It's kind of a frustrating aspect of getting a car that's, well, I mean, every car made in the past 20 years now. I can't believe it's 2020. It's something that I'm honestly going to have to get over. I'm not a huge fan of models that have been made in the past 10 years, but hey, here we are. Number 5, the slow transmission. I have the automatic transmission, and sure, I wish I could have found one with a manual transmission. I've actually gotten over it. I'm okay with the automatic now, besides the ugly shifter. Outside of the fact that these shifters are really strange, like this is downshift, this is upshift. On both sides, you can go downshift, upshift, which is kind of convenient if you want to drive with one hand, I guess. One hand there and one down here, because you can actually use this when you're at a start to switch from first gear. But I don't really care about that. What bothers me is how slow the transmission is. The automatic transmission stock is pretty slow to respond, particularly in mine from 3rd to 4th, I think. There'll be like you could probably count to 2 Mississippi before it switches from 3rd to 4th. It's pretty annoying. Number 6, landmark failures. Luckily for me, despite having some major nightmares with this car, I haven't had a lot of the telltale landmark failures that a lot of people have complained about. And I'm hoping the majority of them are already out of the way. They were already dealt with before I even got the car, like with the previous owners. Stuff like the water pump, the high pressure fuel pump. I haven't had that sort of stuff happen to me. And watch, I probably just jinxed myself. Seriously, my luck has not been in my favor over the past year. But at least there's that. Number 7, it looks like your average dad car. That's what I've been told before. Honestly, I could kind of see why. It's sort of built to be a sport / luxury car. You can definitely imagine your dad going to work in this car, especially with my color. It's just this black mid-sized, well, this is technically a coupe, but it's still kind of a boat of a vehicle. Yeah, so there's that. But in my opinion, it looks pretty good blacked out. The kidney grills were already black when I got it in my possession in the first place. I've since blacked out the chrome trim around the car. That really helped, and then I also added a high kick spoiler. I just did the those sweeping shots while someone was walking out here and people keep walking past me. I thought I was in a pretty, a remote enough location to where people in the apartments behind me, maybe they'd see me from afar and laugh at me, but I don't have to see them. But I've still got people walking down this back way. Number 8, we've got engine volatility. I don't know if it's necessarily the engine I have to complain about. The engine's actually pretty strong. Jimmy likes to say it's bulletproof. That's his favorite word for it. They consider it the modern 2JZ. The engine is really strong. It can handle a lot of horsepower. It's actually everything that's supplemental to the engine. It's surrounded by plastic parts. It's got a rubber charge pipe. A lot of the stuff around it tends to just break down from the heat. And I've had so much fun, a blast, with the ignition system. Dealing with the spark plugs, the coil packs. The ignition system in particular has been my kryptonite. Oh my god. 9. The reputation. The reputation of these cars is they're high maintenance, very expensive. The people who drive them are very obnoxious. They don't use turn signals. I go out of my way to use turn signals, so you're welcome. These cars are known to be nightmares, and honestly, if you have this particular model, it is very much a nightmare. You have to be at least somewhat passionate about it in order to think it's worth keeping up with it. So call me crazy. Number 10, audio failure. Apparently water can get back to where the amplifier is. A lot of people, when it goes out, tend to bypass the amplifier, and there's some cool tips and tricks to be able to do that. Check out Simply Car Things video on it. Luckily for me, when mine was out, turns out that the amplifier wasn't plugged in. I don't know, I got a whole new amplifier and everything and ended up not even needing it. My friend just ended up going back there and he saw something I didn't see, plugged it in, came right on. I don't know, maybe the wire was hidden. I swear I'm not stupid. And that about sums it up. And I know everyone says this whenever they do a 10 things I hate about a car. I don't hate this car. I actually love this car. I'm gonna do a video, if I haven't done already. I'm actually gonna film it right after this. 10 things I love about the car, because I do love the car. But it's not hard to find things to hate about the N54 platform. So, there's that. Have fun. See you later.